Welcome to our presentation on Note-Taking 101, how to take better notes in lectures and assign readings. Why is good note-taking so important? Your notes can make or break how well you are able to study for tests and quizzes. Without good notes, your study time becomes less effective. What constitutes good notes? They're legible, they're organized, and they use clear abbreviations, symbols, drawings, etc. Good notes help you understand details and larger concepts, letting you see the big picture of how things relate. What constitutes poor notes? Trying to write too much, writing without really listening or comprehending, and storing notes in too many places or having a disorganized system. Poor notes leave you more confused and waste your study time. We're going to go over the Cornell method of note-taking, which is a system that's been around for a long time. It's very simple, and it works for many types of subjects, including math. In this method, we look for main ideas and key points. So in a lecture, these are the phrases or concepts that your instructor highlights. And in assigned readings, these are often the paragraph headings or words in bolded type. And then we flesh out those main ideas or key points with just the relevant details, capturing the essential information. There's no need to be word for word. At the end, write a summary. So this is just a few sentences that sum up the lecture. If you were going to explain this lesson to someone, what would you say? And you want to do this step immediately after you write your notes or at least on the same day. This step is really important because it forces you to look at the lesson as a whole and synthesize everything you've learned right away. So this is how your page will look when you're using the Cornell method. At the top, you'll have the class or the topic, your name, and the date, so you can keep your notes in sequential order. You're going to make this I formation on your page, and on the left, you'll have the main idea or key point, and on the right, you're going to elaborate with just a few details, and you can use drawings too if you like, or symbols. And then as you're listening to the lecture or reading your notes, you just keep on going with those main ideas that you're writing down, and then fleshing those out with the details all the way down the page. And at the end of the lecture or the assigned reading is when you do your summary at the bottom. And again, this is just a few sentences that sum up the lecture. If you're going to explain this to someone else, what would you say here? This might be 3 or 4 sentences. Some other tips: you can circle or highlight anything you don't understand on your notes and ask your instructor for clarification before the next class. If your book or course materials echo your notes, you can go ahead and add page numbers so you can find additional information or explanations later. And when you use these notes to study, focus on really understanding main ideas because you'll see these on your test. And remember that studying isn't just rereading notes. You must really understand what you've written down. So that doesn't sound so hard, right? We're going to go ahead and practice this method by watching the short 6-minute video and taking notes. First time around, though, I just want you to listen to the whole presentation and not take notes. And then when we listen to it again, you'll go ahead and use the Cornell method to take notes. So you can stop the presentation here and just click on this link and listen to the short video. Okay, now go ahead and grab a sheet of paper and make it look like this with this I formation. When you take notes the second time around listening to the video, you're going to put the name of the presentation at the top, your name and today's date, and just be sure after you've listened to the video and taken your notes that you write the summary at the bottom. Okay, we'll stop again so you can watch the video one more time and go ahead and take your notes using that template. Okay, so here's what my Cornell notes look like. At the top, I have the title of the presentation, which was How Not to Follow Your Dreams, my name, and the date when I originally took these notes. The first main idea that she had was believe in overnight success. So hopefully you have that as your first main idea. And on the right, I flesh that out by saying lots of work leads up to a quote overnight success, and your success is a result of everything you've done in your life. So I wrote this out in complete sentences. You probably did not, which is totally fine. You probably have something, a phrase of that, maybe just a few words that or is that a general concept, which is totally fine. And your notes are not going to look exactly like mine, and that's okay too. The main point is that you would have those five main ideas the same, and the details might vary a little bit, but as long as you're on the same page, then you're doing it right. So that second main idea was believe that someone else has the answers for you. And I fleshed that out by saying everyone has an opinion of what you should do. No one else has the answers for your life. And we need to make decisions that are right for you. The third main idea was to decide to settle when growth is guaranteed. And the details I had for that was okay is never okay. And when you have a peak, you still need to work hard to get to your next peak. The fifth main idea was to believe the fault is someone else's. And the details I had for that were you can't blame others if you're not successful. It's up to you to make your dreams happen. And we need to be responsible to our dreams. And the last main idea that she had was believe that the only thing that matters is the dream itself. And I fleshed that out by saying life is not just about the goal, it's about the journey too. Achieving a dream is a momentary sensation. And to be sure to fully enjoy each step of the journey and to learn and celebrate along the way. So those are my five main ideas I got from her lecture and how I wrote the details for those. And again, yours are not going to be identical, but as long as it's similar, then you're on the right page. And then finally, that summary, which is really the most important point of the Cornell method, is I wrote, there are many reasons why a person's dreams never get realized. In order to achieve your dream, you must work hard and take ownership of the whole process. Also, achieving a goal is a momentary happiness, so make sure to enjoy the ride along the way. Again, yours is not going to be identical, but as long as you have the same general idea, and really the point here is that you're not honing in on a small detail of the presentation, but you're zooming out and getting the overall gist of why this presentation was given. What was the big takeaway here that you were supposed to get? So as you're going through your classes and taking notes, you'll just keep accumulating these pages. They'll all be in order. They'll make it really easy to go back and review the main ideas and go over the details. And those summaries are really going to help you because that's going to encapsulize every one of your readings or lectures. And that's the Cornell method. It also works for math. So say you had an algebra problem that you were breaking down. At the top, you'd have the chapter, the section, the page number, your name, and the date. And then in this example, the problem is broken down into steps. So the main steps are the main ideas. And then on the right is how to do that step. What is that problem saying, so to speak? What are you supposed to do in each of those steps until you get to the solution? And that summary is what was a takeaway from this problem? What concept was I supposed to learn from doing this particular problem? Some other note-taking tips. You can make your own test review. So after each lecture, assign reading, just grab 3 sticky notes and write a question on each one that pertains to the lesson you had with the answer on the back. You can put these sticky notes in a folder or a notebook for that class or a digital file. And then when test time comes around, you've created your own study guide with test questions. So it's a really easy way to make your own test guide. Also, if your instructor provides a PowerPoint of the lesson, you can print out the slides and add notes next to each slide. So for example, you can see the directions here at the top of the PowerPoint. You'll go to File, then Print. You can click on Full Page Slides. Click on the arrow and choose 3 slides, just for example, and click on Print. And now you have the slide with the place to write your details on the right. So that may be a really effective method for you to take notes as well. If you're interested in any other additional assistance our office provides, the Center for Student Success helps students with time management, test-taking strategies and test anxiety, procrastination, emotional intelligence, Zoom burnout, imposter syndrome, how to succeed in 8-week class, and self-care. So please don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can reach us at indy-studentsuccess@ivytech.edu. Hope you found this recording helpful, and we hear from you soon. Thank you.